Greetings to all of you at Weber School District, the principals and administrators, and anyone else who may be present. This is Paula Plant, and I'm the director of the School Children's Trust section at the Utah State Board of Education. The purpose of this discussion is to summarize the changes that have been and will be made over the coming year to the School Land Trust program and for school community councils. These first few slides are pictures of students engaged in action plans that are part of their School Land Trust plan. They are of Utah students and gathered through the Instagram contest that the Trust Lands Administration conducts each year. Some schools are implementing STEM projects at their schools as part of math and science goals. It's fun to see students so engaged and happy about their learning. Statewide, the largest expenditure of School Land Trust funds is for people, for teachers and aides and specialists. The second largest expenditure is for technology, as shown in these four different school shots. This spring, some schools amended their plans to provide computers and other needs to support distance learning. There are several changes to the program this year, and all are a result of the input and feedback from councils, principals, and those who administer the program at the district level. These requests are in three categories. Councils want greater flexibility in how the funds may be spent. Principals and district administrators have asked for some streamlining and simplicity, and all of us want more funding. To address flexibility, the State Board of Education has amended the rule that clarifies academic needs. An appropriate academic need is now basically anything in the core standards. Identification of the academic needs must come through a discussion of data that points to the needs of students, or as the law states, the greatest academic need. In the past, behavioral components of a goal had a limit on how much could be spent. There is no longer a limit. If a council determines, for instance, that in order to increase graduation rates at their high school, they need support to help students recover credit, help them stay on task and get to class, they could spend the entire amount for those behavioral support services. The academic goal is still to increase graduation rates, but the action plan is hiring support and implementing programs to help students succeed. The law allows a council also to spend up to $7,000 to implement a safety or digital citizenship component of an academic goal. So perhaps an elementary school has a reading goal, but there is some intimidation and teasing among students about the various reading groups. If a council felt that some social training could decrease or eliminate that barrier and teach students to celebrate each other in an anti-bullying project, that safety component could be included in a reading goal. And with every increase in flexibility comes an increase in accountability. The goals must be academic and must have a baseline measurement with an increase and an expected time for the increase to be completed. Now to discuss simplicity. You probably are aware that a new website is being rebuilt. We are implementing the suggestions coming from a survey that was sent to principals and district administrators, as well as a focus group that was assembled to identify priorities. The changes being implemented are requiring a change in the schedule for online submissions. This fall, principals will submit the membership form and the principal's assurance form. Both must be submitted by October 20th. When you come back from the winter break, the new website will be up and running, and you will create a new login and then submit the final report for the school year we just finished. The spring submission will be according to the dates that the district selects. There will no longer be a progress report, but you will submit the school plan and the signature form. The two items in this slide that are in blue will be eliminated as the new programming is implemented. To simplify the final report submission, business administrators will enter the school land trust expenditures through the Utah Public Education Finance System, or UPEFS. That system now allows for school-level expenditure entry. The data entered there will populate the final report, and principals will not be asked to enter their version of the expenditures. They instead will justify the expenditures with the planned expenditures coming from the implemented school plan. If there are discrepancies, principals and business administrators, as in the past, will work them out, and corrections will be made through the UPEFS system in the following year. And principals will explain any discrepancy in the final report narrative. Principals have asked that when they are entering a goal, that they are able to see the entire goal when entering a section. The programmers are implementing a pop-up box application. When you are asked to enter the measurement, a box will open to enter that information, but you will still be able to see the rest of the goal. This application will be used in the membership form and the final report as well. In addition, we hope to resolve concerns around the formatting of the text boxes in the reports that have caused some problems. And also, we have a new public website. It has been integrated into the State Board of Education site. You still get there with the same URL. I hope that those pages you will find useful and helpful. And you go through that system to log into the current website where you'll submit your fall reports. More funding. That is a need now more than ever. The schools are being asked to provide services and deliver education in ways they never have before. This chart shows how the funds have grown since the first distribution 20 years ago. The other important concept about the distribution for you to know is that the formula for distribution is based on a 12-quarter rolling average of the value of the trust fund. This smooths out fluctuations in the markets. So, and unless enrollments change significantly in your school and your district, your school can plan to receive the same amount that is shown in the upcoming school plan. Through all these changes, it is important to remember that the School Land Trust program is an academic program. The various components in a goal must support student academic needs. You establish the academic priority with a supporting action plan to guide you to achieving the goal. The measurement must be student-centered and academic. As discussed before, behavioral components are an option, but the measurement and the goal must be student-centered and academic. For instance, professional development is important. We know it's one of the most important factors in student success is how well a teacher is prepared. A goal to train all teachers in the new reading program, with the measurement being how many teachers were trained, is not a student-centered academic goal. The measurement needs to be the improvement students will achieve in reading because of the professional development. Also, purchasing computers is not an academic goal, nor is it student-centered. It certainly could be a necessary component of a student-centered academic goal. This slide shows the list of core standards. So we talked before about the fact that anything in the core standards can be an appropriate academic goal. Goals to support any of these core standards are considered academic under the board rule. The first column are areas schools must address first. But if your school has plans to address those academic areas through other funding or programs, a council may address academic areas in the second list, as long as they are consistent with the local board priorities. Those listed in green are, of course, related to high schools. So finally, school community councils have been such a success story that policymakers are turning to councils to be recommending bodies on other school issues. In the past legislative session, the legislature gave councils 3 new possible assignments. First is for councils to provide input to the principal in developing a positive behaviors plan. The positive behaviors plan is a plan to address the causes of student use of tobacco, alcohol, electronic cigarette products, and other controlled substances through promoting positive behaviors. We believe this requirement could be included in the Council's digital citizenship and safety responsibilities. We will provide a short training in the fall about how a council could combine the 3 assignments. The second assignment was in a bill that increases school meal opportunities for children. However, local boards may choose not to participate. And one reason a board may choose to opt out is if a council, a school community council, recommends that that school not participate. So councils only need to engage in this if they wanted their school to opt out of the meals program. The last is coming from a resolution, and resolutions don't enact law, so this is just a recommendation. The resolution encourages school districts and charter schools, in consultation with their respective high school community councils, to consider the possible benefits and consequences of a later start to the school day for high schools. And that's it related to the changes. If you have any questions, you could relay them through Dave and Clyde, or certainly contact us directly. Thank you for all you do for students. I consider it a great privilege to interact with Weber District Schools and Administration. You are all always so positive and supportive, and you always demonstrate a love of students and teaching in the plans you submit that I review. Thank you so much for all you do. Sending our best for a great school year.